Hello, folks. Welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair compilation for your polity for the month of December. In this video, we will be strictly speaking from your prelims perspective, that is 2025 prelims. Whoever are appearing, this video is for you. We will also be looking at the topics from prelims perspective, means we will also be checking out the questions from that particular topic. And also, to give out more content on a particular topic, I will also be giving it in the form of your MCQ or prelims based questions. Alright, this video is presented to you by your faculty Sushma Gepi. Now let's get into the video. In this video, we will be covering topics of one nation, one election, atrocities against scheduled caste, Bharatiya Vayuyan Videyak, overseas citizens of India, Supreme Court guidelines on mercy petition, Amrit Gyan Kosh portal, and Karmayogi Bharat. Alright, now is it visible now? You can see it now, right? Now, before we enter into the topic, we have a small announcement from Legacy IAS. We have a current affair compilation like the one we are discussing for other topics from your prelims perspective for your 2025. We also have your mains answer writing program content development for your mains from your Impact 2025. The description both of these is present in the link to both of these is present in the description box below. Do check that out. Now, coming back to the topic. Look at this. As usual, listen to it like a story. See, recently, one nation, one election has been having a lot of topic on it. One nation, one election, or otherwise called as your simultaneous elections. Simultaneous elections for what? For your Lok Sabha, for your legislative assemblies, and your local bodies. This is the meaning of one nation, one election, or otherwise called as simultaneous elections. Now, when we say legislative assembly and your Lok Sabha ke liye, you are going to have simultaneous elections, and now for that we have to bring in a lot of changes. Like, say, for example, your constitutional 129th Amendment Bill 2024 is now referred to a joint parliamentary committee. So, when we have introduced a bill like this, does it mean that this is the first time that India is going to have such a thing? No, this is not the first time that India is having such a thing. In fact, simultaneous elections was followed in India from almost your 1951, that is 51, 52 elections, to up until your 1967. What we had was simultaneous elections only. Understanding, after that is where your things started changing, when assemblies had to be dissolved before, your house has to be dissolved before. Understanding, later we started conducting different elections. Now look at this, when we say one nation, one election, or simultaneous elections for your Lok Sabha, Legislative Assembly, local bodies, this does not mean all three of the elections will be conducted in one day. For example, let's say for your local bodies, after your general election has been conducted for your Lok Sabha and Legislative Assemblies, within 100 days of it, you will conduct the local bodies election. So, one nation, one election, or simultaneous election doesn't mean all three of it will have elections held in only one day. Now, to bring this into picture, this will change the entire dynamics between your center, state, union territories. So, changes or amendments have to be made for all three of this. That is your center, Lok Sabha, legislative assemblies, and even your union territories. Look at this Union Territories Laws Amendment Bill, wherein assume like this. Now, in this particular year, okay, let's say 20. 25 पे LS came into picture. It's a term of 5 years. Okay. By 2030, the term will expire. Now, if I am going to have simultaneous elections, then let's say one particular state ka election was held in 2028. Then, according to the norm, it is to continue for the next 5 years. But it will not continue for the next 5 years, but even its term will come to an end in 2030. Now, let's say the Lok Sabha itself in intermediate, it has, okay, instead of completing 5 terms intermediate pay, it has stopped. Then that particular house will continue only for the remainder period and it is not considered as a substitute for that. Understanding? So, it is a change of dynamic between your center, state, as well as your union territory. So, which means a lot of amendments have to be made. What are the proposed amendments? See, for example, your Article 83, Article 82A has to be inserted. Article 172 amendment, which speaks specifically about your state legislature. Article 83 speaks about your Lok Sabha, what will happen if it's dissolved before the term. Your election commission, while calling for the next election itself, it will mention what will be the term of the new called house. Understanding? So your election commission will be the one who will be very much tasked with doing this simultaneous election, and with the present day resources what they have, it is not sufficient for them to conduct simultaneous elections, which means they also have to be provided with adequate resources. They also have to be made with huge number of changes. Now look at this Union Territories Amendment Law, National Capital Territory, that is your Delhi amendment, Amendment of the Government of Union Territories Act, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019. So we are mentioning these is to bring into an idea that a lot of amendments will have to be done because it changes the entire structure of your political rights. Now, when it comes to simultaneous commission, that is simultaneous elections. Okay, yes, otherwise called as a one nation, one election. This committee was headed by your former President of India, Ramnath Kovind. All right. Now, if you see regarding simultaneous commissions, again, we are speaking of all these topics strictly from your prelims perspective. The recommendation for simultaneous commissions was made in 1999 by a law commission. Also, various other committees have also recommended for simultaneous commission. Okay, look at this law commission in 170th report of 1999 hold simultaneous elections for Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Why exactly do you think that we need something called as simultaneous elections? First and foremost, once you elect your members, let's say center or state ke liye, around the year they're always using the resources. Model code of conduct is imposed, one or the other place pe election is there, people are always involved in campaigning. Rather than running the state affairs, they're just running political campaigning. And also, instead of utilizing the resources, let's say the teachers, the security personnel, the resources, money, this much is used only for conducting elections. Huge number of delays, policies, lags. This much is very much detrimental, especially when India is trying to reach the stage of Vikshit Bharat by 2047. So, if India has to be aligned on this path to reach Vikshit Bharat, that is developed India or New India by 2047, then we have to make certain structural changes. Yes, all of these is there. Now, do you think all the political parties are okay with this? See, not all political parties are okay with this, especially the state parties, because they feel that their remaining term with which they were elected now will get destroyed, like in the previous example that we saw. Many political parties have also gone ahead to criticize and call it as anti democratic, also. So, there is no complete general consensus that we observe in this concept. But again, this will be fruitful, is what we're thinking, is because of its reduction in the burden of your expenses, resource utilization. Okay. Niti Aayog also speaks about synchronizing of elections between your Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies. Let's look at Few of the questions again in here we will learn more about the topic from your questions. Consider the following statements regarding simultaneous elections. Simultaneous elections refer to a process where both Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies are held together. Okay, first statement. Simultaneous elections are currently held in India for the President and Vice President of India. Simultaneous elections would reduce the cost of election and ensure greater voter turnout. First and foremost, look at this. Simultaneous elections are currently held for president and vice president is wrong. No, there is no such thing where you hold simultaneous elections here. So that is wrong, which means 2 is automatically wrong. Now read out the remaining two statements. Simultaneous election refer to a process where Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies are held together. Correct. Now, simultaneous election would reduce the cost of elections. Yes. So the correct answer is B 1 and 3 only. Which of the following is a key advantage of conducting simultaneous elections in India? Allows for the formation of national government representing all states, leads to a reduced electoral fatigue and frequent electioneering, ensures uniform development across all states, increases accountability of central government over state government. See, allows for formation of national government representing all states. No, you cannot tell that. That is not something that you can tell. Yes, regional parties will be surpassed and only central will come. No, that is not thing. Ensures uniform development across all states. Party coming into picture and development have no link. Increases the accountability of central government. Again, this is not a guaranteed thing. This may happen, may not happen. The correct answer is it leads to reduced electoral fatigue. That is, around the year you're just involved in election process. You're electing your man again. You're campaigning, and then the people they're voting. The resources are being used. At the end of the day, they feel like I am voting. I am being part of this electoral system. But again, it is just I'm voting, voting, voting. Nothing much is happening. Next, look at this. Which of the following statements about the challenges of simultaneous elections are correct? Challenges we are speaking about. The term of Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly is fixed for 5 years, but simultaneous elections would require constitutional amendments. Yes, they require amendments. We just spoke. The dissolution of a state assembly before completion of its term could disrupt the alignment of elections. Yes, that is what your states have been complaining about. Election Commission of India does not have the required infrastructure to manage simultaneous elections effectively. Now, again, look at this. Presently, with present resources and for such a big magnanimity, it is difficult. They have to be provided with more resources. The correct answer is 1, 2, and 3. Which committee recommended the idea of simultaneous elections in India? Law Commission, Sarkaria Commission, Venkatachalaya Commission, Dinesh Goswami Commission. Correct answer is Law Commission 1999. Consider the following statements about simultaneous elections. Concept of simultaneous elections is supported by a majority of political parties in India. Like we discussed, again, majority parties, there is a general consensus, but also that doesn't mean everyone is okay with it. Your regional parties especially are very much upset because they will be losing their term, which is valid only from their point of view also. So no, this is not correct. The idea was first proposed in 1999 by the Law Commission. Correct. The current system of election results in frequent model of conduct enforcement leading to disruption of governance. Yes, this is correct. So the correct answer is B 2 and 3 only. We will be discussing about the next topic, atrocities against the scheduled caste. See, with the recent reports suggestion, especially coming from your, look at this, the scheduled caste constitute to 16.6% of India's population according to your 2011 census. But over the years from 2022, if you have been seeing the atrocities committed on your scheduled caste have been consistently increasing, for which the expert committees etc have suggested the reason is because many states have failed to implement the mechanism that is there for the protection of scheduled castes. Understanding? Now, let's see some of the legal things that are present for them. What do I mean by that? For example, your Article 366 defines the term schedule caste, and by according to Article 341, the president may notify who are the schedule castes, and then in your states and UTs, he will consult it with the concerned state governor. Look at this. According to your DPSP, Article 46 promotes educational and economic interests of scheduled castes. Article 338 sets up National Commission for SCs. Now, when we speak about your Article 46 promotes educational and economic interests of scheduled castes, one of the main reasons, the criticisms that is coming is there is significant amount of disadvantages that is faced by your scheduled caste in your educational institutions, with even getting access to educational institutions. And also the recent trend that we see is there is a huge amount of rapes, etc., in the name of atrocities committed against your SC women also. So, what are the legal remedies that are there, or the laws that are there for your scheduled caste? Untouchability Offences Act in 1955. This act was replaced by Protection of Civil Rights Act of 1976. Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act. In this particular act, the ambit of what that is what contributes to atrocities were also added. Recently, a new thing was added, that is in 2015, that is crimes of sexual offenses on your SC women was also added under your atrocities. Prohibition of employment as manual scavengers and their rehabilitation act is also there to us to make sure that your manual scavenging is not forced down upon them. Another thing is your government had introduced this concept of namaste, which means trying to reduce the fatalities of people involved in manual scavenging to almost zero, but India has not yet achieved such a result. Again, these are all one of the reasons why the atrocities against your scheduled castes are increasing. Namaste, the scheme that we said, National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem Scheme, where you will not, okay, have fatalities in sanitation work or maintain zero fatalities in sanitation work. This also, because it's films, we have this concept of bandicoot, where your robot does the cleaning of this. Okay, and if people are entering into this manual scavenging, make sure that they're given adequate gear. Okay, but that result is not yet achieved. What are the main reasons for continued atrocities against your scheduled caste? Complacency of states, they have not set up your protection cells. Apathy of the police. Poor economic status, about 34% of your scheduled castes are still in your below poverty line. Raising political awareness, again there is a huge amount of atrocities committed on them because of the dominant castes. There's social prejudices. Till 97.7% of atrocities against your SCs in 2022 was done in almost 13 states. Failure to enforce of your legal mechanism. First thing is discrimination in education, according to your Thoran committee. Let's look at some of the questions on this topic. We will learn more on the topic based on the questions. Which of the following is the objective of Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989? To prevent the commission of atrocities against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, to ensure economic and educational advancement of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, to provide for establishment of special courts to deal with atrocities against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Providing economic and educational advancement is not directly a part of this. There are other schemes for this, but this is not directly linked to this. The answer is 1 and 3 only. Consider the following statements regarding atrocities against scheduled castes. Atrocities against scheduled castes are only committed by individuals from non scheduled caste communities. Scheduled castes and scheduled tribes act provides for harsher punishment for crimes committed against SCs and STs. The National Human Rights Commission NHRC has no role in addressing atrocities. It is committed only from non-scheduled caste communities is wrong. It is committed from both members from scheduled caste communities and non-scheduled caste communities. Provides for harsher punishments, yes. NHRC has no role in addressing, no, it is wrong. If it has anything to do with human rights issue, it will come into the picture. So the correct answer is here B2 only. NHRC also plays a role in this. Which of the following acts is categorized as an atrocity under SC/ST Act of 1989? Denial of access to public places like temple, water bodies, or roads. Yes, this comes under your atrocities. Preventing SC/ST from accessing public employment. Yes. Committing economic discrimination by excluding SC/ST from participating in local self government. Yes. The correct answer is 1, 2, and 3 only. All of these contribute to your atrocities against your 1989 Act. Consider the following statements regarding the role of government in preventing atrocities against SCs. Government is mandated to implement welfare schemes to protect rights of SCs and STs. Government is responsible for ensuring establishment of special courts. Yes, the government can offer financial assistance to victims of atrocities. Now, see here, it says can. Okay, it can. So you shouldn't assume yes, it has to. So based on this three, all the three statements are correct. The correct answer is 1, 2, and 3. Which of the following is true about National Commission for Scheduled Castes? The Commission investigates and monitor implementation safeguards for scheduled castes. It has the power to review the progress for the implementation of policies for the welfare of scheduled castes. It cannot make recommendations to the government but only to the judiciary. Why will it make a recommendation only to judiciary? It will make it to the government. So the correct answer is A, 1 and 2 only, not the third one. The atrocities against scheduled caste include which of the following offenses? Intentional insult or intimidation with the intent to humiliate a member of scheduled caste, forcing a member of scheduled caste to eat, drink, or any inedible or obnoxious substances, using the scheduled caste as bonded labor or for manual scavenging. All three of these will come under your atrocities committed against your SC. So, correct answer is C, 1, 2, and 3 only. The next topic that we will be discussing is your Bharatiya Vayuyan Vidyayak, that is more specifically about your civil aviation. This will replace the Aircraft Act of 1934. Look at this. It is introduced in Lok Sabha on July 31st, 2024. And one main thing, if you have to know about this, is it is most organized and structured and has chapter wise and section wise. Why is this, first of all, brought in? To modernize the civil aviation industry and come out of your colonial terms, and also make it on terms with modern day civil aviation, ease of doing business altogether. Okay, this act has set up three authorities: DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, and Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. Okay, now exclusive powers to this is given to your central government. Okay, and thing is, let's say if the aircraft, it also has mentioned conditions wherein if it carries illegal substances or which is not supposed to be carried, for example, you're smuggling, or it has purposefully did anything to endanger the safety of people, personal and resources, or it has not complied with your DGCA instructions, then both fines and punishment, fines up to 1 crore rupees or imprisonment up to 2 years is also set up under this. Now if you see one main thing, who is going to be look after all of this? That's a nodal authority, that is the Ministry of Civil Aviation. And the one more thing is, by this implementation we will be on terms with Convention on International Civil Aviation of 1944. We are the ninth largest civil aviation market globally, and we have about 15% of women pilots in the country. So we have DGCA, BCAS, Airport Authority of India, Investigative Bureau for Investigation of Aircraft Accidents, and Airport Economic Regulatory Authority of India, that is for your traffic regulation, etc. Okay, And if you see what is now, in the starting I told you civil aviation modernization and decolonialization, also bringing it terms with modern aviation and ease of doing business. So this is 100% fdi permitted in both greenfield and brownfield project, which means new aviation projects as well as existing revamping of existing aviation projects. Both of those are spoken about in your new airline industry. That is your airline act that we are speaking about. Let's see some questions and learn more on this topic. Consider the following statements regarding BVV. Okay, 2024. It replaces the Aircraft Act of 1934. Yes. Passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in 2024 and has also received the President assent. Okay. Aims to modernize India's aviation sector and align with global standards. The correct answer is all three of this, 1, 2, and 3 only. Okay. What is the primary objective of BVV 2024? Nationalized all private airlines in India, establish a new national airline for international operations, regulate and modernize aviation sector replacing outdated 1934 act, privatize airport operation. Correct answer is to regulate and modernize the aviation sector replacing the outdated 1934 act. Which of the following bodies is responsible for regulating civil aviation safety in India? DGCA, BCAS, AAI, Ministry of Civil Aviation. Correct answer is Director of your Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Which of the following statements are correct regarding BVV 2024? Act establishes Civil Aviation Authority of India as independent regulator for safety, aims to remove redundancies and enable ease of doing business. Act does not provide for manufacture and maintenance of aviation sector. See, the first one is correct, second one is correct. Does not provide for manufacture and maintenance. No, it does provide for design, manufacture, and maintenance. So the third option is wrong. The correct answer is A1 and 2 only. Which of the following best describes the significance of BVV? Introduces stringent regulations to nationalize the aviation sector, replace colonial era aircraft act, focuses solely on enhancing passenger services, deregulates the aviation sector. The correct answer is replace the colonial era act of aviation. Okay. The next topic that we will be seeing is overseas citizen of India. Recently, Ministry of Home Affairs came up by telling that there was a general dissent that was telling that there is an issue of taking the OCI status back to foreigners. That is, they will be reclassified as foreigners. Now your MHA stepped in and told, no, there is no such changes. OCI will still continue. What is this that is overseas citizen of India? First and foremost, if you're any foreign national except a national of Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Afghanistan was a part of India, and you have a huge set of conditions where you before to Indian and you got citizenship of any other country, or you are a spouse of an Indian national but you are a foreign national. So all these lists are mentioned, and so basically your OCI, what is the benefits of your OCI card holder means, first and foremost, when we say OCI card holder benefits, you should not consider it like a dual citizenship. Understanding? It is some extra perks and privileges that you get. What are those extra perks and privileges? For example, you get multiple entry lifelong visa. You have equality with respect to your NRIs. NRIs are citizens of India, but they are residing elsewhere. Your OCI people are not considered like that. They do not have right to vote. They do not have right to purchase your agricultural land. They cannot hold certain constitutional posts like your president, vice president. They can't become MPs, MLAs, except under any conditions which is prescribed by the government. Okay, so there are certain issues for them that they cannot be on par with citizen of India or even an NRI for that matter. But they do have some benefits such as, like I said, multiple entry, multi-purpose visa, equality with NRI with respect to your financial and your educational matters. Again, they can't they can't acquire agricultural lands. They're eligible for grant. They're eligible to enroll themselves in your national pension scheme. Okay, so these are some of the perks that your OCI card holders can hold. Again, it is very much to be understood. It is not to be considered like a dual citizenship. What are some of the restrictions? They cannot, again, like we discussed, they cannot vote. Understanding, they cannot hold any constitutional offices. They can't become members of any particular houses. And for if they even have to do any research, mountaineering, or missionary activities in protected areas, they need special permissions. Yeah, so these are the things with regard to your OCI. Let's look at some of the questions. Which of the following are the rights provided to the overseas citizen of India? Right to own agricultural land in India, just now we discussed, this is not there. Right to vote in Indian elections, no. Right to hold public offices in India, no. So they hold none of this. The correct answer is none of the above. Consider the following statements regarding OCI Citizen of India scheme. OCI is available only to foreign nationals of Indian origin who are born in India. OCI cardholder can hold dual citizenship. OCI cardholders are eligible for benefits related to education, business, and property rights in India. See, first and foremost, to understand, available only to foreign nationals of India. No, we just spoke. OCA cardholder can hold dual citizenship in India. No, this is not to be considered as dual citizenship in India. Are eligible for benefits related to education, business, and property rights in India. Again, it comes with certain restrictions. Now, for example, when we said business, property, let's say with regard to the land, they cannot hold agricultural land, they cannot acquire agricultural lands. There are restrictions in that. Which of the following categories of people are eligible for OCI status? Any foreign national who has Indian ancestry up to four generation, yes. A person who was a citizen of India acquired citizenship of another country, yes. A foreign national who is married to an Indian citizen for at least 2 years, yes. The correct answer is 1, 2, and 3 only. The next topic that we will be discussing is Supreme Court guidelines on mercy petitions. The mercy petitions, for example, let's say a person has exhausted all his legal options, and as the last resort he wants to have executive clemency, then he comes for your mercy petitions. That is either reduction of sentence, or if it's a death sentence, this is there only for the president, waiving off on that, commutation, reprieve, respite. Yeah, all of these are there with respect to your president and your governor, but only president of India has the power to pardon on your death sentence, and also his rights include even that of your court martial also, that is your military car. So your mercy petition is not a matter of a right but a matter of choice. Again, that is a last resort executive clemency, that is again not to be considered as a right for any prisoners. Understanding, state of Maharashtra versus Pradeep Yashwant Kokade case pay, it was also held that earlier cases pay in your mercy petition, they have to tell us to why they are taking up a particular mercy petition. And when we say mercy petition, that is with regard to the president or your governor, it is not a choice that they can take on their own. They have to listen to the aid and advice of the council of ministers on this particular topic. So mercy petition, which will be granted by your president and governor, is described under your Article 72 and Article 161. And another thing is, look at this, very important. It is covered under your Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. Prelims perspective pe, this is important. Okay. More of this we will learn only from your MCQs. Okay. Which of the following statements regarding mercy petitions is correct? A mercy petition is a request for pardon submitted to the President of India. A governor of state has the authority to consider mercy petition for crime committed within that state. A mercy petition can be filed after the judicial process has been completed and the sentence is final. Yes, the correct answer is a mercy petition can be filed after the judicial process has been completed and the sentence has been given. Who among the following has the constitutional power to grant pardons or reduce the sentence of a convict in India? President of India, Governor of a state, Prime Minister of India. The correct answer is only President of India and Governor of the state. The correct answer is 1 and 2 only, not the Prime Minister of the state. Okay, your president acts on the advice of your COM, that is Council of Ministers. which your PM is also part of. Consider the following statements regarding President's power to grant pardons under Article 72 of the Constitution. Power to grant pardon is available only in cases where punishment is death. President's power to grant pardon is absolute and cannot be questioned by any court. Power of pardon includes right to reduce the sentence of a convict. Power to grant is only in cases where the punishment is death is no. Even to reduce the sentence, the third statement, this is also there. Power to grant pardon is absolute and cannot be questioned by any court. No, this is subject to judicial review. See, usually your judiciary will not interfere unless and until it is exercised. If they come to know that it is exercised in very arbitrary manner, only then they will step in. But this is subject to your judicial review. The correct answer is D3 only. In which of the following cases has the Supreme Court of India ruled that rejection of a mercy petition must be accompanied by reasons? Kehar Singh versus Union of India, Shatrughan Chauhan versus Union of India, TP Gajendrakar versus State of Maharashtra. In these two is when they held that the rejection of mercy petition must be accompanied by reasons. The first one they did not specifically mention, so the answer is B 2 and 3 only. And also they are against the delay. They have even held that your prisoners can even ask for the delay against this because it is dealing with their article 21 right to life. So unnecessary delay will again cause a difficulty in their article 21. So they have, the Supreme Court has also highlighted in making sure delay of these mercy petitions should not be done. Which of the following are the grounds on which President of India may reject a mercy petition? The petitioner has a history of serious criminal activity. Public opinion is strongly in favor of a harsh punishment. Petitioner has demonstrated no remorse for their actions. So this is a very important question you have to know. The public opinion is strongly in favor of harsher punishment. You should not be dependent on the public emotion or public sentiment. Your decision should not be based on your public sentiment. Now, this and this is correct. The petition has demonstrated no remorse for their action and has a serious criminal activity. So, the correct answer is 1 and 3 only. It cannot be based on the public sentiment. What is the role of governor in context of mercy petition? Governor can grant pardons for offences related to national security. Governor can grant clemency in cases involving offences committed in their state. Governor has the same powers of president in terms of granting pardons. Again, see here, with regard to national security, no. Understanding has same powers with granting pardons. No, he doesn't have the power to grant pardon in case of your death, death punishment, that is capital punishment. So only 2 is the correct answer. The next topic we will be discussing is your Amrit Gyan Kosh portal. First and foremost, this is developed by Capacity Building Commission. What is this for? Mainly look at this. It is to empower educators and enhance the quality of public administration training. This we will see it alongside one more thing, that is your Karmayogi portal. What is this? An all in one online platform for civil service officials where they will be having a healthy debate, discussions. Okay, all in all, that has something to do with your public administration, the shared knowledge, pooled resources. So, this is about your Karmayogi portal. Understanding? Now, this is it for your December month current affair polity compilation. We've reached the end of the topic. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it along with your friends. Thank you.